everybody. Welcome back to Echo. This is how we become real woke. My name is Empress Taloa, and I'm so happy to have you again. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a channel where we share, where we learn, where we unlearn, where we relearn how to affect our reality so that we can live a better life. We can affect our life so that we can stop struggling, right? We don't have to struggle, like I always say, guys. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about, remember, there's that time you thought of that person and then they called you. And then there was that other time you thought about that other person. And then you heard a song in the radio that reminds you of them. What is that? Huh? Are we magicians? We are going to be talking further about that in today's video. Before we go into today's content, I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers, all the new viewers, and I'd like to welcome back the old subscribers, the ones that have been part of this family. I welcome you. If any of this content, if any of the videos resonate with you, please subscribe. Please like the videos and hit the notifications icon so that you can always be informed when we post new content. So without wasting any time, let's get into today's video. Now, I've always been a firm believer that we have certain abilities that, because we were brought up in the societies that we were brought up, those abilities were sort of like blocked or shut down. And I feel like a lot of us are currently reclaiming those abilities. One of those abilities is telepathy. So telepathy is essentially communicating with somebody without using words. So you use words in your mind, but you do not verbalize. I have a very interesting story with telepathy. So I am a mother of 5. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I have 5 children. My eldest is turning 24 this year, believe it or not, and my youngest is turning 14. Yes, mother of 5. So often the children will be like outside or maybe playing in the streets. When I need them for something, maybe I need to send them to the shop or something, I only have to just think about them and me telling them to go to the shop. And then they just walk in and they go, "Ma, did you call me?" Because I made them aware at a very young age that we do communicate mentally, spiritually, emotionally, without using words. So my children are very aware. So every time they get a sense that mama might need me, they actually respond. And most of the time, I actually do need them. We all have this power. We are all telepathic. That's why I asked you earlier if you remember of that time when you thought of that person and they actually called you. Or you bumped into them, or they walked through the gate, right? Very weird. But it also affirms what I've been saying since I started this channel, that we are not only physical, we are also spiritual, we are emotional, right? We are mental, right? We are multi-dimensional. So when you need to reach out to somebody that is tuned in, to you or with you. Remember, English is not my first language. What is it? Is it with you or into you? Into you, right? Yeah. Yeah. So when you are tuned into somebody, it's easier to have like that telepathic communication. I know that my telepathic communication is very strong with my husband. Yeah, like I'd be sitting with maybe a sister of mine who's visiting, and then I go, let me put on the kettle, this man is coming. And then like 5 minutes later he walks in, or like a minute later he walks in. And then they're like, oh, how did you know? I'm like, we connected. I can feel him. I can feel his energy when it's close. So I don't have to see him physically to know that he's coming. I just tune into his energy and I can tell, you know. I think it also speaks back to so I've never been able to translate this, guys. And in Zulu we say isiZulu asitolikwa, meaning you cannot translate Zulu. Which is why I also had a problem with how some people were defining Ubuntu. I felt like they were taking away the essence of what it is, you know. So there is also another saying that says kusika inimba. Yo, it's so hard to explain it. So I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try and explain it, but it's very hard to explain. So you know, when a baby is in the womb, the baby is connected to the mother through the umbilical cord, right? So inimba, you could say, is a spiritual umbilical cord. You will hear women in the communities often say, kusika inimba, when they see maybe a child going through something bad, or maybe they see a boy that is addicted to drugs and they are now staying in the streets or something like that. So then they use that phrase to actually express that that is somebody else's child, but what they are going through, I feel it in my umbilical cord or in my belly button, as if they were my own child. So something like that, right? It's not exactly what it means, but that's the essence of it. So you feel for that child as if they are your own child, because you are also a woman and you have given birth. So it affects you. You feel it in your gut, like, you know. Yeah, so that's what Gusika Inimba means. So we've always been connected, because we all come from the womb, right? And we were all connected to our mothers through the umbilical cord. So that connection does not break. And because as human beings we are multidimensional, we are able to communicate with others without using words. In one of the previous videos, I spoke about energy drainers. I spoke about how when you enter a certain space, you will feel down. When you enter a certain space, you will feel very lively and up, right? When a certain person comes into your space at your home, when they leave, you feel drained. It is because we communicate through energy, through these frequencies, like I always speak about. Go and watch the other videos on how sound is made visible so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I talk about frequencies, okay? I will maybe add a link to that video or to those videos that speak about that in the description of this particular video. Yes. So back to the content. Some of you may wonder how to actually make your telepathic communication strong. So how you make your telepathic communication strong is by being intentional. When I just think without intending, I hardly ever communicate. But when I'm intentional about thinking about that specific person or that specific thing, it does manifest. I do get through to that thing or person. And this reminds me of the concept of resonance. So there is a concept called resonance where they talk about one object vibrating at a particular frequency, and then if there's another object that is sort of like similar to that one, then it catches that frequency and they both vibrate at the same frequency. So in essence, it's saying that this one influences this one so that they are vibrating the same. So if I'm thinking of my child, then I create resonance and they hear me and then they respond, right? So that's how resonance works. I'm not going to put a clip on resonance, but I will link some videos also in the description about resonance so that you guys can understand resonance better. I have been sharing that I am no scientist. I am interested in science. I'm interested in quantum physics. I'm interested in metaphysics. But I am not a scientist. So sometimes it is hard to explain. I understand what I'm saying, but it's hard to explain. But if you guys hear it from other people, then maybe you can get it better, if you get what I mean. But yeah, let's be intentional with what we are in resonance with. Okay, so we can affect our lives, so we are not affected. You know, that thing that you desire, be in resonance with it. It will come to you, it will hear you, it will respond. That is life, guys. We are the observers and we affect what is being observed. Again, I speak about the double slit experiment. Watch it. The video, is it here? Yeah, the video is here. Watch that video. Okay, we've come to the end of today's video, guys. I hope it was informative, and please do share your experiences with telepathy. I would like to hear what you guys have been experiencing, because I experience it often. I think of my mother and she calls. It happens, guys. It happens. We are connected. We are not separate from each other. That is why we are able to communicate without using words. So on that note, I'd like to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you once again for watching the video until the end. I appreciate your time, and yes, I appreciate that you are engaging and watching this content on this channel. And with that said, I will see you in the next video as I echo out of here. As I echo out of here. We echo. And that's how we become real woke. Empress Taloa signing out. Thank you.